Hey everyone, Ian King here, editor of Automatic Fortune, and today I'm joined by one of my colleagues, Anthony Planas, and Anthony is the analyst at the Real Wealth Strategist. He's also our go-to guy on everything cannabis, so I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to him about the cannabis market because I know a lot of you have written in with questions on, what cannabis investments should I be looking at. So I got some good questions for Anthony, and I hope you'll enjoy them. Anthony, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Great. Nice to see you. Now, Anthony, what is your top-down look? What's your 60,000-foot view of the cannabis market? Like, when you look at the market, what do you think about first?
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they look at cannabis, they think about the old way of smoking cannabis, which was dried flower that was rolled into a joint, and really only stoners or dropouts or whatever smoke cannabis. But that is totally changing right now, and that's because there's now pharmaceutical applications that we can use cannabis for because it's been opened up for research. There's also wellness, and so that's for things like anxiety and insomnia. CBD, which doesn't even affect your mental state, can be used to treat all of that. And then, of course, recreationally, that's changing. That's totally revolutionized, and we are now going to see a new era where people can drink cannabis, and it doesn't taste nasty. Really? You don't even know it, and some of these drinks are actually 0 calories. They can taste like seltzer water, and so it's going to bring a totally new face to the cannabis market.
Cool. So, cannabis has been one of those markets that was like such a hot topic a year ago, and we saw some cult-like stocks like Cannabis growth, and then we kind of had that bull run and then a bear market. Where do you see things now? Are we kind of picking up the pieces? Is it the right time to start looking at the space?
Yeah, that's a great question. So really what happened was cannabis got a little bit ahead of itself, and then investors realized that there's actually a lot of hard work that goes into creating a business. And so people were hyped up, they were expecting huge profits right away, and the truth is it's a longer road. It's a lot of hard work. And with the regulators, in Canada especially, they had very restrictive regulations. And so that meant when it started, it wasn't a shotgun start. They started a few things, and we're still slowly seeing the market open up. In October, we're actually going to see the derivatives, so things like vapables and edibles open up, and then in December, we're going to see the beverages. And so it's been kind of this slow rollout. And so investors got a little ahead of themselves. But to me, things have never been looking better because now we're actually seeing the companies that have the right management teams, they've got the right capital structure, and they're doing the right things.
So like weeding out the bad actors, for lack of a better pun.
Exactly,
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So how big is the market cap, or like how big is the market right now for cannabis products in the world, or do you look at the US or Canada?
Yeah, so we look at both the US and Canada. Within the US, it's actually $9 billion.
Okay.
And so that was last year, and Canada is picking up speed really quickly. So they were about 600 million annualized, but again, that's a slow rollout. Within the United States, it's been much faster when the states legalize it. Usually they legalize everything at once. And you also have to keep in mind, Canada is only about 1/10 of the population size of the US, so it's going to be a smaller market.
True, but maybe they use more cannabis products than us. So how fast do you see this market growing, like in the next 5-10 years? Do you have any projections for the entire space, or?
Yeah, so I think this could go from $10 billion to $500 billion, within the next decade, because we haven't seen really any growth within the cannabis market towards the new recreational, the infused beverages, and the wellness products. Hemp and CBD just got legalized in the US. And so those are brand new markets that are about to open up, and they're going to be huge, and they're going to disrupt $6 trillion worth of enterprise in pharmaceuticals, wellness, and alcohol beverages.
Now, recently, we've seen moves by the Trump administration to really clamp down on vaping. Do you see that as kind of a precursor to what could happen with marijuana regulation in the United States?
I'm not too worried about that. I think it's actually a good thing that we're seeing more regulation. So vaping is really new, and for a long time, the government didn't quite know what to do with it, and so I think it's good that the government is taking this seriously, and they are starting to crack down and make sure that vaping is being done safely by standardizing it. And so I think we're going to see some fear come from that, but there's so many different ways to consume cannabis. The wellness products, those are creams, ointments, even pills that you can take, so it's not affected by vaping at all. And then again, with infused beverages, I think those are going to become so much more popular because really when you go out for dinner or go to a bar, that's what you want to do, is you want to share a drink with friends. And so this is going to be a low-calorie tasting drink that will still get you buzzed.
Are there any particular names that you want to share with our readers, or you have to subscribe to Frontline Profits and Real Wealth Strategists to see that?
So I've actually got 3 really exciting names that I'm going to release at the conference today. There might even be a 4th bonus one in there. I haven't decided on that one yet. But yeah, in Real Wealth and Frontline Profits, that's how you can get most of the names. If you want a general approach to cannabis, there is one ETF that I'm a really big fan of. It's the Cambria Cannabis ETF. The ticker symbol for it is TOKE, TOKE. And I'm a big fan of that ETF. So if you want just general broad exposure, that's the way to do it. And then, of course, you can subscribe to the services for our top picks.
Fair enough. Yeah. Anthony, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah,
really appreciate the conversation. Hopefully we can continue it at a further date. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you.